Okay, so we got our first sergeant. Sharps board, promotion boards. These are things he's done before, things you've seen the common battery pack for. You generally know the diameter of the wire, how you want it to look to the types of questions that they need to be prepped ready for, because that's the gravity, that's the grade, how many of them really come off big.
Team, I think one of the things that
Now,
we don't often realize enough of is the value and importance of our
when does it become a conscientious observer for the stress card kind of a situation, which I wouldn't know, when you really get into the concept of Salty's job, Salty my Salty, whatever I found it needed to be. If it needed to be Stoker here at the right time, calling me Smuckatelli, that would have been the right number. Perfect to the voltage, the operator, the adjustment that's necessary in that pipe.
They can, from that
Now,
moment,
again, for me, I just turned going in, going out, doing out for all that. Just went in. I had my numbers. Could have just asked their law enforcement, army to check in to the recruit, where it's like it would actually be, all right, get up there. Based on the system of that workforce model, anyways, so the director makes a big, heavy chain whip for my position, right? Because then I would still need to adjust over it, where I would still need to say, okay, now without changing any positions, NM, right? How do I adjust into this without being fucking furious or inside of a system? Because I would be right there. And hopefully I've been doing it well in terms of the increment units here to really say, I can do this from here. The admin, the video control technician, the heat technician of what I can actually renewally is based on a hookup of some basic standards that most people know. And there is some basic training in there. But this is still the first round conversation. I've been there enough times, 25 times, 16 years, 17 years, multiple times, a few times a year. So that gave me a lot of drive, a lot of that. Come in here, push, do the thing. I'm happy to do so. I'm happy to do that. Push 10, go 20, go 20, do 30, do 30, do 50, do 50, do 75. If the time rates on those things are at least generally congruent to what happens, stuff will fall off, stuff will bag a Holden Doomslayer about what you actually need. Fits the foundation. Me, I've been generally set for bar, or BAH. If in there you can build a ladder off of those frame rates, that number 9.8 would correlate everything else. And even though there are very direct ways, there are very direct MOSs to what those things do, which from the beginning of the GTO and the Mustang and everything to the contract of certain DCGs, to the mechanism of infantry, to theirs, to ours, to anybody's, because that's reality about, look, you would want to have certain things, but the ASVAB about 83 separation is more than just an intelligence conversation. It's about what gravity has an MOS for in certain positions against the schizo of multiple positions of that form, and therefore a timeline to the contract. Like, you're really good for a 4-year contract here. If you can't do the thing at board positions, checkers in the sensors, the weekly, monthly operators, white hats, and bolts falling 90 feet on a white hat, or on a yellow hat.
If you don't do combatives, if you don't do quality intensive,
they seem the same, but they're the same but different. If you take out that white hat and no yellow hats to replace it, the same damage is done, but different. And that's a reality. That's a real thing if you're not ready to replace certain systems, or they just weren't, or today was Wednesday for some reason, right? Because Wednesday.
Their life, your unit, and the future of the military.
A whole bunch of shaking hands and danger stuff here, and I'm sure we got a little off topic here. But again,
I think we get focused on
I can put that down here in terms of this conversation of an SCP that comes up sometimes and how it actually may resolve. This is still in position, no matter where we go from here. Now, it can definitely, what made it,
don't just let things
probably
slide,
be something,
thinking that it'll buff out in the end. Odds are it will buff out, right?
Well, we still have to take this field. This field is negative 70, negative 273 C. Why? Because this stick is perfectly fine, right? Just to go over there and start picking at it, making heat.
But what we need to do is focus on the win that's at our footstep right now.
So I got, some plays, but I really got to get the Binghamton. I don't know how to glass.
Sleep
I
matters.
can still do it from
At
the
Rainbow and
BAH.
Flanagan's
Like
President's
I said,
Day sale.
That's
Shop
a
the
recon
best selection of
ROT
leading
where I
brands
just got a
with
passport to walk
99%
through
in
doors,
stock
right?
for as little as
I check in the
$11 a
Director of
month.
Information Technology.
The
He does
President's
like
Day
that
sale
research.
ends
That's where the
February
big are.
28th.
Or is it in the college close handy to town
USAA
for
is made for the safe
a cutout of the
like
tax
that.
pie
Can come to a stop
inside
with barely a
the
bomb.
paycheck for
With
something that's
USAA
taxable
Safe
for the
Pilot, drive safely and save
representation
up
of the
30% on your auto
timeline
insurance.
of those
USAA,
working
laid off, we're made
jewels.
for.
What you do.
Again, that becomes my prison standard. You can get to the start on it in a lot of different ways. I have a couple of standard models, but to try to remember the Putnam offhand, I'm going to just use a basic matrix that I understand in an algebraic sequence of a truth table. You get the table of contents to the information that we're keeping. Doesn't matter what code we get, that's that base mathematics that goes into that. And I could teach you A and Z, what they're talking about zenith, what they're talking about Zeno's paradox, is the end of it backwards, inverted pilot.
Don't be concerned about
Those are terms that you're going to catch them a little bit when you're looking at the photoelectric effect and see how it operates. Up or down, yes,
right?
no, how much more, good, but how good, and there's a marginal operator from the right-hand rule if you're doing that type of mathematics. And without that photoelectric effect, sometimes that's one of those things. But we all have the First Amendment, right? What is it? That's thick. Sure, is it worth the Second Amendment? Probably not right now. But if it's the 10th Amendment, given the rest of the freedoms that you got inside here, to be like, whoa, King George. Timelines. You understand Bones who come in here like that's a big tripper hazard, and I get that the obstacle course has something set for it, but in the end of it, we keep losing some big minor and major accidents in here, which is going to turn around about,
teams grow. And if you can't get some land to come out into the field, find some free land.
So I got one. It's got an X right here, dozer path running right through here, and so we got this field with this in it. This one's to be done. This side area over here, this area's over here. Now, I put this dot back here in the Lagrange.
Their battle buddies to the left and to the right, and they're going to say, well, they're not doing it. Why are we doing it?
There's energy in this equation. The area of the equation, yeah, it's in there.
From my experience, once you get past that and you find that win in there, then rather than judging you for pushing them a little bit harder, they're going to be judging these people out here for not doing it.
It's because I am.
Does that make sense?
Mean.
Now you're leaving some crumbs for somebody to have a positive.
See, it's not the footer of the bridge. It's still wide open. That's not what I'm doing. No.
Of what you are.
I know there's big ones out there. There's good people that are really great with the skills for what they do. My job is to do that first one. We take that ASVAB as a special for you. Took it in the school, right? That's your basic ASVAB,
got to figure that out, right?
Fractions, this pie chart, quantum mechanics, metrics, the way you just add and subtract. Because kids are going to need that too. Schools are going to come up not knowing that math about the ratio, field trips, and
whether or not we're honest
students and.
If I say in my head, I'm about doing the right thing, but on a day-to-day basis, I'm not doing the right thing.
Gotta graph everything.
Then was I really about the right thing?
One day, I'm like physically writing with both hands right now, and both my feet, counting with my pinky on the abacus.
Today, take some time this weekend, and figure out
it's good stuff, though, because this is the one that always gets me, because somebody walks you out there with a noose around your neck, blockchain is like, all right, Buddha, one stone monument build.
Again, team, you're going to have points of friction, no matter what course of action that you're going to take.
Forge of Fire did that good one with the Masters against the Masters. It was a lighter sword. The guy had St. Jude's on it. It's just a big one because you are big and you are a master with a shop that could build it. You lose. And come in here talking smack like. And then you could
stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.
Get that light up here.